Hey everybody, Claudia from the Wee Garden Homestead here. It's been a little bit. I've really been struggling getting motivated. It's been a little bit since I have been in the studio doing any kind of sewing. I worked out a couple of projects and I just didn't get to them. It's been really hot and I just haven't felt like it. We are getting a cold snap next week though, so I may get some garden work in. But in the meantime, I am working on, and I know it's kind of late in the month for it, but I'm going to work on a shamrock block. And I've been thinking about this and thinking about this and thinking about this. So I'm taking my diagonal heart block and I'm using just this part of it, just this square part here, or this square part here, whichever one you want to call it. I'm taking that, and that would be really cute as just a heart, right? It'd be 10 by 6. It'd be a nice, well, it'd be 10 by 10. It'd be a nice size. I think it's 9.5. I think they finished at 9 by 9. That'd be a really nice size. But since I'm going to need 3 of these put together plus one for the stem, I am going to make them smaller. So here's where I've been working on that. And it's hard to read my notes here. I wanted to make them so that they were charm square friendly, or scrap friendly, but charm square friendly. So I dug through my pile of charm squares that I have cut from my scraps, and I needed 3. I was hoping for 4 of the same. I found these 3, which are great. These are all the same batik. And then I needed 1 for the stem, and I could use just a scrap for the stem, but I'm going to actually use this for the stem. So I think that will go pretty well together. And then I also dug through my scrappy charm squares, and I need 1 for the corners on the heart shapes. I think 1 will be enough. And then I need 1 for the background of the stem. Now these are 4.5 inches, which is a little smaller than that, but once I cut it in half and put the center stem piece in, it'll work. Now, I haven't done this block yet. You're here with me experimenting. I'm going to do 1 block, all I really have time for, if I want to get the video up before, to give you time to maybe make it before St. Patty's Day, because this will probably go up tomorrow. Today is the 12th, so 5 days. By tomorrow, it'll be 4 days. So it is scrap friendly. It is going to be charm friendly, and let's all cross our fingers and hope it works. Now, I watch Holler Homestead. If you're a Homestead watcher and you don't watch them, you might check them out. But anyway, they always say you should never record a video on your first time. If you haven't done this before and you don't know if it's going to work out, you shouldn't record a video. But you know what? I wanted you to see the process. So I'm going to make a bag. So I'm going to make the shamrock block, and then I'm going to set it on point so the stem is at the bottom. And I'm going to use this to go around it. And then I've got some other fabrics. Probably I'll grab a darker St. Patrick's Day fabric for the body of the bag, and then just a solid green or something for the lining. But we're going to work on this, and we're going to at least get this block done today. And I'm going to get you turned around and show you what we're doing. Okay, so it's hard to see where I did my jots here. But basically, I took and I drew this out, and this would be the size that I need to do the 9 by 9 block. I'm not doing the 9 by 9 block, though. I'm doing 4.5 by 4.5, which will finish at 4 by 4. So for the green, I need a 2 by 3 piece for each heart. I need a 2 by 3 piece, a 3 by 4.5. I'm just going to cut 3 by 5. And then I'll need the background pieces. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. So I need, out of each one of these, I'll line them up, really, really line them up here so I can cut them all at the same time. So I need a 3 by 4.5. So we're going to call that 3 by 5. And these are, okay, yep, these are 5 by 5. These are perfect 5 by 5. So I'm going to cut this on the 3. And then I need the 2 cut to 3. That's going to leave me with 2-inch squares. These are scraps. If I was doing this into a quilt, I would use, when I did the border, I would just use 2-inch strips, and I would use these for cornerstones. But, so we wouldn't have any waste. So I have this and that, and then I need 2-inch squares. Let's see if we can do this. We need 2-inch squares for here, 2 by 2. Now remember, this one was 4.5, so I'm going to need 3 of these. 1, 2. That leaves that a square. Need 3 of those. These are scraps. And then, oh, I'm going to need 1 more of these. I need 1 okay, so this is 3. I can still use this. I need 1.5-inch squares for the corners here. And yes, I know they're going to touch in the middle, but once I put my seam allowance in, it's going to cut them off just a little bit. I think that'll work. I hope. Let's all cross our fingers. So this I'm going to cut. Oh, this is only 2.5. That's a 2.5-inch square. I'm going to leave that for now. Let's see what we get out of this. So 1.5. I need 3, 6, 9. I need 12 of these. There's 3. 6, 9. I do need 1 more. I'll be right back. Okay, so I need 1 more row of these. Jeez. I don't know if you heard that, but she scared the bejesus out of me. She does that. Just random barks. I don't even know. She heard something outside. Okay, so these are going to go on these corners first. So they'll be so hard to see which side is which on these. They're silvery. I don't know if you can see that. They're silver, so they look a lot the same on both sides with the reflection. So this is going to go like that. And one over here. Like that. And then when I put in my 1/4-inch seam, it's gonna cut it off like that. So it's more heart-shaped, I hope. Let's hope this all works out. Okay, I'm going to the sewing machine. I'm not going to mark these, but if you, because I have the seam tape on my sewing machine that tells me where to sew the diagonal. But if you don't have that and you feel better marking them, I don't have a pen here, but you would just mark across the corner here, put them on like that, and then sew from here to here. So that's what I'm getting ready to go do. I'm going to do all these, and then we'll be back. We're just going to get going here. I'm going to go press these. The next step, this is how they're going to go. That one's a little crooked. I don't like that one. I'll do that one after. Okay, so they're going to go like this, and then this is going to go here. So the next step is sewing this piece to this piece like this. We'll do all 3 of those. Make sure I do all 3 of them exactly the same. I'll press these open. I'm going to actually press them to the background. Okay, now these go like this. And we're actually going to go towards this end. And then that end will just get trimmed off. And hopefully this works the way I think it will. Everybody cross their fingers. So yeah, once that's trimmed and that's trimmed, hopefully they'll look. Yeah, we're just going to keep going. Really don't have a choice now, do I? So I am thinking, looking at this and the difference here, I'm thinking that if this was 1.25 inches, it would be up here and that might be more prominent. But I think that for shamrocks, I think it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to press all of these open. I'm going to trim them, and then I'm going to make the stem. Okay, this is coming together really very quickly. I'm very pleased with that. I did grab another one of the background. And honestly, if I was going to do this again, I would probably just use scraps. But you can see how this is going to go together. Are they perfect? No. But I think they're going to be adorable. So now I just need a stem here and some background here and here. So you can see where the shamrock is coming out. I'm totally thrilled. So I'm just going to cut this corner to corner. And this is, remember, this is 4.5. So we're going to take seam allowance out of there. We need to finish at 4.5. We're going to take seam allowance out. So 1/2 inch plus seam allowance on the other piece. I need 1 inch. I need 1 inch to go in there. So basically, I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to run the 1/2 inch line from corner to corner. Let's all cross our fingers this works. I'm going to cut there. And then I'm going to turn it around. And basically, I'm going to do the same thing. So this is going to be 1 inch. And now, this is when your seam allowances are very strict. And probably I could have done this 1.25 inches, and then if I would have gone over on the seam allowance a little bit, it wouldn't have mattered. Then I'm going to center this on there, right sides together. I'm going to go down this side, and then I'm going to do the other side. Okay, one side is stitched. Let me grab my iron. I did pin this because it is on the diagonal, and I wanted to be very careful that it didn't stretch. I think I'm going to press to the green. Very carefully. And then I'm going to do the other side. Okay, I stuck with a very scant 1/4 inch. Very scant. Very scant. Okay, now this needs to measure 4.5 inches. Let's see how we did. Look at that. That is going to be just perfect once I trim off those corners. Ha! Ah, I love it when a plan comes together. See, now you see why I wanted you to see this, though, because you got to see the whole way of the planning process instead of just having the measures. And I'll write this down for you all. And if you started with a 5-inch piece of this, then you would have a little playroom, but it worked out just fine. So the last step is going to be putting these together. This is how they're going to go. And then we get to see, especially once I put a border on. And what I'll probably do is put corners on so it goes the other way. Like that. Look at that. That's going to look so good. Nudge that over a little bit for you. I think this is going to be awesome. So let me go put this together. This is this, and this is this. Okay, I'm going to press this one to the background. I don't know if you can quite see what I'm doing here. And if that one goes to the stem, then this one needs to go that way. So they're basically, I'm just pressing them opposite ways. So they'll nest in the middle. Like that. I'll be back. Okay, let's press this open. I think I'm going to press it to this side again because there's less seams on this, if that makes sense. I mean, normally I would press it to the darker side, but I like to press to the side that has less seams. Oh, this is so cute. This came out so cute. Okay, so when I put it in a quilt or my bag or whatever I'm going to do a bag, but when I put it in, I want it to sit this way for you versus this way. So I'm going to use that little glittery shamrock fabric that I had there to make points. I'm going to cut it. Let's see what I got here. If I cut it a little bigger than this, this is 8.5. This is 8.5 square. So if I cut, let's say 9.5 square out of this and then cut it like that, and then put those on, it should overlap in the corners a little bit. Let's hope. Okay, so this is actually a Joann's fabric. I've had it for years, and I'm not sure if I bought it or if Mom bought it. So I have had it for a long time. I'm actually going to cut this 10 by 10 because I'd rather it be a little bit big than too small. It's a little extra there. It's a little extra. I don't mind being a little extra, but I don't need this to be a little extra. Especially not just on one side. Here. Okay, so that's 10 by 10. Let's switch cutters. So we're just going to cut this on the diagonal and then on the diagonal again. We're going to go on the diagonal here. I'm just going to actually put that on the diagonal on my cutting board. I don't know if you can see that or if you're too close. And then I've got this to use as a guide. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, so basically what I did there was I took this diagonal and I placed this on that corner, and then I made sure these were on the up and down lines, the horizontal and the vertical lines, and then I could just cut on that diagonal. Then these are going to go like this, like that. Oh, that's going to be perfect for a bag. Okay, so I am going to do one side and then the other side, and then I will do the top and the bottom, and I'll be back when I'm finished. I have to say I'm getting really excited about this. It took me a little bit to get my mojo back. So what I did was I actually folded these in half to find the center, and I centered them up on this seam. So let's get these pressed. We're going to be pressing out. Do the other one. And then I'm going to do the same with the other two. I'm going to fold them so that I have the center. Of course, the point is the center also, but center, I'm going to center that up on this seam like that. Make sure my point is centered. I'm going to pin it, and then I'm going to stitch it. I do want to show you this overlapped right here, this little at 1/4 inch. So that's right where my seam allowance goes, which is just perfect. That's just what I wanted. I'm going to get this one out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Whoop, in half, Claudia. We're going to put that one on. So this is at the center, and that's at the center. And then we're going to pin. And see, we've got that little 1/4 inch. I don't know if you can see that there. That little 1/4 inch right there. That's where my seam's going to go, and that's just perfect. That's what we want. Okay, let me scooch this out of the way a little bit more. Let's get this pressed. I always worry about some of these fabrics with the metallic glitter because I have had the older ones, some of the really old ones, the vintage ones that, oh, I didn't pay attention. This is upside down to that. But that's okay. That means this one's upside down to that too. I told you I was going to pay attention to that, and then I didn't. Something if you're using a directional print to think about. I'm not taking them off and redoing them. Okay, so there's my block. That's going to go on my bag. I think that's going to be absolutely adorable. The bag is going to be another. And actually, I could have cut this off and made this be background too. I think that would have looked fine. But this, I'm totally thrilled with this. I'm so happy that my lying awake at night came out to be what I thought it would. So this is measuring a little over 12 inches. So I could trim this to 12 by 12 before it went in. It's about 12 and a quarter. Honestly, I wouldn't even bother trimming it. These edges are pretty straight, and it's going to go into a bag anyway. You guys know I like to make bags out of orphan blocks. But that came out so cute. Let me see what I can find to do the bulk of the bag out. Okay, guys, I pulled it out. You know what? I'm going to raise you up just a little bit. Let's go up. Let's go up. Okay, so I pulled out all my St. Patrick's Day fabrics. So I have this one that's big enough to do to go around here and do the back, and it might be enough. It's probably enough to do, yeah, it's enough to do straps too. So I have that. Now you guys are going to have to tell me what you think I should use. This one, this one would be real close. I could use it, I could make it work, but it wouldn't be, it'd be a lot of piecing. It wouldn't be easy. This one is not, oh, this one is a bandana. How stinking cute is that? We're not going to use that one. This one is definitely big enough. This is an old school one. Let's see when this one was made. See if there's a year on this. I don't think there is, but this one's definitely, I'm pretty sure this one is a vintage one. Somebody could probably look it up for me. I think this one is probably a vintage one. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can use that one. I can use this one. I think this one might be vintage too. Some of these I bought and some of these I did not. 2012 on this one. I was making server aprons. And, you know, I might make a couple of server aprons. We've been going to Beef O'Brady's for food, and I might leave them an apron and a tip, of course. But this one would be big enough. I would hesitate to use this one, though, because it's got so much white in it and it would get dirty. So let's not use that one. This one's big enough. And this one's big enough. So you guys tell me what you think. So we'll call that one. We'll call that one 9 patch. We'll call this one black with big polka dots. We'll call this one big patches. We'll call this one dancing leprechauns. We'll call this one, I don't want to use that one. It's too much piecing. And then we'll call this one light green with swirls. You guys tell me. The bag is going to be a separate video. I will probably do it pretty quick after I post this one because I want it before St. Patrick's Day. So again, we're going to call this one 9 patches. We're going to call this one shamrocks with polka dots. We're going to call this one big blocks. We're going to call this one dancing leprechauns. And we're going to call this one light shamrocks with swirls. You guys vote in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me, guys, for making this shamrock block with me. Don't forget to vote on which fabric you think I should use to make the rest of the bag. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I might put this as a post too, just to see if we can get more votes. I might put it up on Instagram also. Yeah, I'll put it up on Instagram. Today's Thursday. I'm going to get all of this up today at some point, and we're going to let voting go till Sunday afternoon sometime. When I'm ready to start sewing, that's when I'm gonna tally the votes and make a bag. Thanks so much for joining me.